What's up, family? What is up? What's up to the family? Happy Tuesday. Your girl is back to give y'all some love, some understanding, and some support when it comes to this healing work. So, what is up to y'all? Shout out to everybody. Let me give some people some time to come in. But what's up, y'all? What's up to my Instagram family? I miss y'all. I ain't seen y'all in a while. I haven't been live on Instagram in a while. If you've missed me on Instagram, you probably should be subscribed on YouTube so that you don't miss too much. There has been um I have went live on YouTube maybe 4 times or so. So if you're over here on Instagram and you like, damn, I ain't seen D-Ray in a while, you need to be subscribed to YouTube because there's some powerful things that are on YouTube that Instagram has not seen that I had to do over there, that I had to do on YouTube because YouTube is where the family is at. And y'all are my family too, so y'all go make sure y'all subscribe over there. What's up, all of my YouTube family? Tyree, Divine, To Know Israel. I said Tyree already. What's up, Tierra? What's up, Miss April, Danielle? What is up? Thank you, Tierra. Y'all, so first of all, if you are not already a part of my community, specifically the ladies, specifically the women, okay? Specifically the women, specifically my sisters, right? If you are not already a part of my community, I want y'all to go to my website. The link is in the bio, and I want you to sign up to receive the Womb Alchemy prayer. Now, you're not signing up to receive that Womb Alchemy prayer is a blessing to you. It is a blessing to you, my sisters, my ladies. Because I be sending out emails and I be wanting to connect with y'all and talk to y'all. And what I just did last week, I sent out an email to all the ladies who are in my community and I asked them, what spiritual work are they doing? I asked the ladies in my community, what are they releasing spiritually right now? What are they doing spiritually? And I asked that question because I want to create content specific to my people, specific to the ladies who support me on a regular basis, and the brothers too. I love y'all too, but I mostly work with women. So I want to create content for y'all. And I got so many emails, I got so many responses to the question, what is Spirit asking you to reveal, that I knew I had to come and make this video first. So if you are not already subscribed, if you are not already a part of my Sacred Sister Circle community, if you are not already just a part of my people on a deeper level, if I can't reach you, if I can't shoot you an email, I'm telling you, you need to go ahead and go to my website. Either you can sign up to get the Womb Alchemy prayer, which is free. Either you can sign up to get the Womb Alchemy prayer, or you can join the Sacred Sister Circle community, which is just me being able to contact you and update you and let you know what's going on. So I need y'all to do either one of those. And like I said, it is for you. Because what I just did last week, I sent an email out to the ladies in my community and I asked them, what is Spirit asking them to release? And so many women came with long emails. I was thinking I was going to get a word, but no, I had to read. And as I was reading the emails from all of my sisters, first of all, I want to say thank you for responding. But as I was reading that email, I realized that one main thing that must happen first in order for you to heal, in order for you to transform, is you must detach from the work. See, first of all, this gets so deep. It gets so deep because when you realize that you got shit going on, when you realize that you have unresolved trauma, when you realize that you have work to do, a lot of times that comes with judgment. Let me know in the chat if you've ever judged yourself for not being where you want to be or not being where you should be mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. Let me know in the chat if you've judged yourself for that. If you said, I got a messed up relationship, this is ridiculous, I can't believe this is my life, let me know. Thank you, Taryn, with your beautiful self. I just love you. Taryn, do you live in Atlanta? If you live in Atlanta, Taryn, we may be seeing each other soon. Okay? So we're already getting responses from people on both Instagram and YouTube where people are saying, I've judged myself for not being where I need to be. I've judged myself for falling short. I've judged myself for my trauma. And I want to tell you that that judgment is the first blockage to your transformation. If you continue to have a judgment, which means you have an attachment, if you continue to have a judgment, which means you have an attachment to the trauma, to the work that needs to be done, you're not going to move forward. Hey, Iman, my good sis, love you. So the first thing you have to do, family, before you decide to embark on a healing journey, before you start to embark on a transformation journey, the first thing you have to do is detach. You have to emotionally detach from the fact that you got work. You have to detach from the fact that things have gone wrong, that you've made a mistake, that you've messed up, that you fell short, that you're still repeating the same old habits. The first thing you have to do is detach. Because your judgments, when you think about how heavy your trauma has been, when you think about how painful your shit has been, when you think about how far you have to go, when you like, damn, I got a lot of work to do, immediately your ego goes into protection mode and your ego is like, nah, don't worry about it. See, the thing is, you don't recognize that though. You don't recognize that some of you, this is just the reality, I'm going to tell you all the truth. Some of you would rather stay in your trauma than to have your ego, your conscious mind shattered. You would rather stay in that same space than to have to dismantle your mind. You would rather stay in that space than to have to do the hard work. And it is your judgment that the work is even hard that stops your conscious mind from deciding, I'm going to move forward. It's the judgment. It's, I got so much to do. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. It's how do I get there? Where do I start? Can I really do this? It's all of that. It's all of that that stops you from consistently taking the steps that you need to take to actually transform. It is your humanity. It is your human that has said, because I lack abundance, something is wrong with me. Because I am single and I'm 35 years old, something is wrong with me. Because I have a toxic relationship with my ex or with whoever, something is wrong with me. Because I don't have a good relationship with my mother and with my family members, something is wrong with me. Because I can't seem to break this habit, something is wrong with me. Because I can't move forward, or because something has been had a hold on me for so long, something is wrong with me. And I'm here to tell you that that is your humanity. It's your humanity that is attached to not being right, not being put together, not having it figured out. That's your humanity. And I know this. I know this because in my healing work, and I thought about this when I think about people who manifest illnesses. It is their humanity that is like, oh, I can't believe I'm sick. I can't believe I have to go through this. I cannot believe this is what I'm experiencing. But spirit, the divine, your higher self knows and understands that the work that you have to do on yourself is for the refinement of your being. And so your spirit, your higher self doesn't care that you have to experience loss. Your spirit, your higher self doesn't care that you have to have an emergency C-section. My higher self doesn't care. My higher self is like, that's your humanity that is judging this experience. And I'm here to tell you that this experience is for your refinement, is for your growth, is for your expansion. Your higher self doesn't care that you're poor. Your higher self doesn't care that you live in paycheck to paycheck. Your higher self is like, you're in this space so that you can learn something, so that you can gain something, so that you can transform. It's so much bigger. I love that, Iman. It's so much bigger than your human mind, your ego can even fathom. So one of the first things that you have to do is emotionally detach from the work. I have people sit down and they have a conversation with me and they're scared of the conversation with me. Some of y'all in that chat, come on, spirit. Some of y'all who are in here right now know damn well you should have booked a consultation. You should have booked coaching. Some of y'all know damn well you should have done that. But the reason why you haven't is because you're still attached to the trauma. You're still attached to that way of being, the brokenness, the not having. You're still attached to that. And you already know when you come and you sit down and you have a conversation with me, we're going to have to break some of that stuff up. And so again, you would rather stay in that space than having to really break down your mind, your emotions, your spirit, your habits. I literally have conversations with women and we get on that phone and they like, ooh, I was scared of this conversation because I was thinking I was going to be this and this and this and ooh, it was just going to be too much. Attachment. You're attached to a fear that is connected to the work that you have to do. You're attached to having to do the work and you emotionally have to detach. You emotionally have to detach and just say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. I'm going to make it happen. I don't know what's going to be the end result. I don't know how long I'm going to have this. You literally just have to be like, okay, but here's what y'all do. Here's what y'all do. Self-pity. You sit over there in your room and you pity yourself. Oh, this is my life. Oh, I can't believe this happened to me. So before I start going into all of the work, and again, I'm grateful to y'all because a lot of y'all sent me emails. I'm like, yes, I got things to work on. We're going to make videos on womb healing on Thursday. This Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all are going to meet me right back here on Instagram and on YouTube. And we're going to get into a womb healing series. So this Thursday, we're going to talk about womb healing. I received multiple emails from ladies saying that they still have stagnation in their womb. They still have things trapped in their womb, which a lot of us do. So this Thursday we're going to talk about womb healing. But in my emails, I got stuff that talks about, needing external validation. We're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about procrastination. We're going to talk about abundance and manifestation. We're going to talk about, I received so many different emails. We're going to talk about repeating old habits. So I'm grateful to y'all for sending me those emails, for responding to my email and giving me that inspiration and giving me that love, giving me that power that I need to make sure that I'm giving y'all what's going to support you. Hello, Danielle Scented Life. Danielle Scented Life. Hey, okay? So I appreciate y'all for that. But the first thing that I need y'all to know is that you have to detach from knowing that you got to do the work. You have to detach from being like, oh God, I cannot believe all of this is my life right now. No, the first thing in order to heal and transform is acceptance. Okay? Is accepting where you are. Some of y'all, you can verbalize it, you can speak it, but you have not truly accepted it. And when you do not accept it, you don't take the steps to move forward. I literally had to accept that I was a child that was waiting on her father. I had to accept that. I had to accept. Man, I done had some conversations over the last couple of days. I'm gonna have to save it because it's a lot. But you first have to accept that within your spirit and within your being, within your thinking and within your emotions, you first have to accept that there's work that needs to be done. You have to accept what that work specifically is. Okay? And then after you accept what it specifically is, then you have to start holding yourself accountable. See, some of y'all don't hold yourself accountable to be disciplined to do that work. And that is because you are still attached to the trauma. You're still attached to what is putting you in the position that you're in right now. And you're not really willing to challenge yourself. Okay? It is your attachments to what needs to, it is your attachment to where you are not. It is your attachment to have external validation issues. And you are so attached to that. You feel some type of way about that so deeply that stops you from moving forward. You are the trauma. You are the brokenness. Okay? You are lack. You are unhealthy relationships. That's what attachments are. Attachments are when we define ourselves. Attachments are when we define ourselves by the trauma, by whatever situation that we are experiencing. We literally, energetically, mentally, and emotionally, we connect ourselves to those things. Okay? What's up? I love that you, Rana the Ruler, what's up? I'm glad you was just having that spirit. That's how it works. But when you start to identify, see, some of y'all are so identified with the bullshit and you wonder why you cannot move forward. And you been just talking, but ain't doing nothing. Just got to tell y'all the truth. Because when we get into this work for 2022, for the entire 22, yes. I know who you are, Rana the Ruler. I know who you are. You were definitely there when I got proposed to at Gymboree. Girl, that is going on 6 years ago. That is going on 6 years ago. You were definitely there helping the babies. Thank you again for that awesome experience. All right. So y'all, attachment is when you identify, when you frame your sense of being to the shit that you've been through. And we still together, Rana. Girl, we just had another baby. We just had another baby a month and a half ago. This is our third child. When we were at that jamboree, that was our first child. We just had number 3. But anyways, family, detachment is necessary because if you feel like you are your trauma, if you feel like this thing has really kept you stuck, if you feel like this thing is something that is so hard to move past from, if you feel like what you got going on is bad, if you feel like what you got going on is bad, you will not move forward. Do y'all understand? This is a mental game. This is a mental game. So it's important for you to detach from feeling like something is wrong with you. It is a mental game for you to detach from feeling like this is hard. I can't believe I got to do this spiritual work. I can't believe I got to do this hard work. I can't believe I got to discipline myself. I can't believe I got to focus. I can't believe that I have to break this habit. If you have that attachment, you are not going to do it because your ego is not convinced. Your humanity is not convinced. So you almost have to trick yourself. You got to play yourself. You got to tell yourself a story that, according to your humanity, may not be true. See, I had to tell myself, you know what, that abandonment experience, that's good. I had to tell myself that abandonment experience, that's good. That's great. You want to know? And it is. Spiritually. Spiritually, y'all, it is. Spiritually, the shit that you've been through, the challenges that you are going through, the things that you are having to release is good at the soul level. If it's bad in humanity, it's probably good in spirit. For real. Okay? Why? Because it gives you an opportunity to transform. It gives you an opportunity to break down some of the mental, emotional habits that you have that are blocking you from connecting to your higher self on an even deeper level. Okay? Your higher self, your spirit, your divinity does not care about the divorce, doesn't care about the breakup, doesn't care. I mean, y'all got to understand. You gotta go past your human mind. This is why people always said, you know, God, why you let this happen to me? God, why me? We've heard all of that before. God, why am I having this experience? I even asked the divine myself when I was laying on that hospital bed, going into a C-section. I was asking, what is happening to me right now? Why is it happening to me right now? I done had 2 children at home, unmedicated, without a doctor in sight. What is happening to me right now? Why is this happening to me right now? And Spirit was like, stop asking why and start focusing on how this is going to transform you, develop you, help you to improve as a being, as a divine sacred being. So here's something that I want y'all to take with y'all. Here's something that I want y'all to take with y'all. When you are thinking about the spiritual work that you have to do, the things that you have to release, the things that you have to transform, I want you to really ask yourself, how does this lesson, how does this experience, how does this way of thinking, being, emoting, how does this support my purpose? See, some of y'all don't know your purpose because you're still attached to your trauma. You're still attached to what you don't have, to who you're not being, to what's not manifesting, to how hard it is to manifest, to create. And because you're so attached to it, you don't see how overcoming that experience is a part of your story. Overcoming that experience is a part of what you give back. Overcoming that experience is how you help others to recognize their spirit, to recognize their soul, to recognize that they're more than just human beings. But the longer it takes you The longer it takes you to come through, to go through it, the longer it takes you to remove judgment from whatever it is that you're going through. The longer it takes you to remove judgment from whatever it is that you're going through, the longer it takes you to have that impact that you're supposed to be having. And then when you're not making that impact that you're supposed to be making, now we're talking about karma. Cause and effect. Not I did something bad, now I'll receive something bad. But y'all have to know we have spiritual bank accounts. Y'all have to know. Okay? Y'all have to know that when you impact the lives of other people, when you help people to recognize their divinity, their spirit, their growth, their evolution, when you help people to not make the same mistakes that you've made, to not get stuck in the same ways that you've been stuck, when you help people to do that, this increases you spiritually. This increases your energy. This increases your being. And not only does that affect your present lifetime, that affects your next lifetime and your next lifetime and your next lifetime. Okay? Do we understand? Let me know that we understand. So the work that I need y'all to be doing in this space and time right now, the work that I need y'all to be doing is detaching, removing the judgment. We all say, well, Desiree, D-Ray, Miss Wise, how do we remove judgment? How do we remove judgment? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked, how do we remove judgment? You remove judgment by addressing your beliefs. Addressing your beliefs. It is your beliefs, right? It is somebody telling you that being broke is bad. It is somebody telling you that having a job is bad. It is somebody telling you that what your wife or husband or somebody is doing is bad. It is that belief system that is what creates the judgment. Okay? So when it comes down to you doing the work that you are doing, I want to challenge you to ask yourself, what is my belief system surrounding this? For example, of course, I'm going to give you an example. For example, before I started doing my work on my abandonment issues, right? Before I started doing that work, I used to feel like my daddy not showing up for me was so bad. Like, why would he do that? Why would he not show up for me? You know? Clearly he doesn't love me because he didn't show up. And maintaining that thought made it hard for me to do the work. Why? Because I wasn't taking responsibility for who I was and for who I was in the moment. Maintaining the belief that what my father did was wrong made it external to me. Okay? It made my abandonment issues and how I was showing up, it made it external to me. Meaning my belief system had me like, what I'm doing, my belief system had me like, there's nothing that I can do to transform how I'm being. It's my daddy's fault. Okay? It's my daddy's fault. Not your average Scorpio. I would love to know what the belief is. I would love to know what the belief is. Because if it's a belief that is manifesting toxically in your life and you agree with it, then that's the sign of why it's continuing, right? Because what we're talking about right now is, see, you gotta, when it comes to spirituality, y'all, you gotta get creative. You are meant to be creative. You are meant to transform. I'm going to show y'all, I can give y'all so many different ideas on how this works. Okay? But anyways, keep going. So for as long as I continue to believe that what my father did was wrong and it was a sign or is a symbol that he did not love me, he did not care about me, as I can maintain that belief, I wasn't going to do the work because the work wasn't about me. The work was about my father. Okay. Makes sense? But I had to transform that belief into my dad did what he knew to be best at that time. I had to transform the belief that on my own, by myself, I am worthy, I am loved, I am great, I am amazing. I had to transform the belief to say, I enjoy my alone time. I actually enjoy being by myself because my abandonment issues made it hard for me to be by myself. I needed someone to validate my presence. I needed someone to validate and to make me feel like I was loved. So a part of me transforming my belief was I love myself for who I am without doing anything, without being anything, without having to succeed in anything human. I love myself just because. I love being alone with myself. I enjoy my own company. My dad did the best that he could do. Do you understand? When I transformed that belief and stopped feeling like what happened was bad, this is when I actually started to be able to do the work. What my dad did was not bad. It was necessary. It was necessary on so many levels. It was necessary because what he did in the relationship between him and my mom, how that manifested and how that shaped my mind, helped me to heal past life trauma. See, what you think is bad oftentimes is 100% for your transformation, not only in this life, but in past lives. Okay? So that happened with my dad and with that abandonment work. Not only that, it helped me to really dig deeper into myself, to love myself more, so I can do the work that I'm doing now. I can get up here and talk to y'all now. I can be my authentic self with y'all now. But if I would have maintained the belief that what happened was bad, I would have never taken the steps to do that work and I wouldn't be here talking to you. Because I would still be pitying myself, asking why my daddy did what he did. I would still feel like I was unworthy, I was unloved, I wasn't valuable. Who am I to get on here and talk to people about stuff? My own daddy didn't show up for me. Okay? Your judgments are shaped off of your beliefs. Okay? And yes, 100%, my daddy should have been there in those times. He should have. It would have been nice. But just because he didn't, I'm not going to continue to ride on this belief that what he did was wrong and that it was my fault and all of that. Because that keeps you stuck. And that keeps me in a negative space instead of seeing the positive, the benefits of that experience. Yeah, not your average Scorpio. Okay, you put it in there, so we're going to address it. But it sounds like a lot of humanity. Okay, you said I judge people for low standards and being ignorant. A lot. The simple fact that you said a lot, you put that emphasis on it, means that you're really judging humanity itself. And that is a problem because that keeps you in your humanity. Your standards and the standards of other people do not have to be colliding. Okay? They don't have to be one and the same. All right? But you need to ask yourself, why am I so attached to humans? Why am I so attached to humans? Okay? I want to ask you, what are standards? Who sets the standards? What is ignorance? And funny enough, ignorance is bliss. So you judging people for being in their bliss. I would challenge you to ask yourself, where do I find my bliss? Okay? But it sounds like just a connection to humanity. And that's where you have to remove and And what you even put is not even a belief. You said it, it's a judgment. So what is your belief about people with low standards and being ignorant? So you got to go even deeper into it. I believe that people with low standards and people who are ignorant are so on and so on and so forth. And then when you get that, you need to reflect on yourself. And you need to ask yourself, well, how is that belief system that people with low standards and being ignorant, blah, 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 how does that even affect your life? So there's a lot of clarity. Yeah, there's a lot of clarity. How does another person's standards and ignorance affect your life? And if it's affecting your life, what about you is attracting you to those people? Because if they ignorant, they got low standards, why are you in their space? So everything comes back to you. Everything comes back to you. All right? So again, in order to detach, what you have to do is transform, it is release judgment. In order to release judgment, you have to really look at your belief systems. And when you discover what your beliefs really are, when you discover what your beliefs really are, you do the work to transform them. You just flip it on its head. I give y'all another example before I get out of here. My mom used to always tell me when I would cry, when I would be sad, whenever I was any of those things, my mom would always say, "Why are you crying so much?" Or she'd be talking on the phone, "Yeah, Desiree, she's so sensitive. Y'all know she's sensitive. Don't say nothing." She would always do things like that, right? And her doing those things made me feel like I could not express myself. I could not express my emotions. What's up, Willie? What is up, Willie Capru? My brother. But my mom would do things like that. Like she would not let me be emotional as a little girl. Which I'm gonna tell y'all parents right now, if your daughters cry, let them cry. If your sons cry, let them cry. Let them express themselves. An issue I had was I was not able to express myself emotionally, which made me to be a passive aggressive person. So in my relationships, even with the people that I love, instead of me being able to say something hurt my feelings, I'm going to do something that's slick. I'm going to do something that's sly. I'm going to do something that's going to irritate my partner, that's going to irritate my family member, because I was not able to just simply say, that hurt my feelings. And I couldn't do that because my mom was like, being sensitive, we can't do that. And I understand. But at first I used to judge that. At first, I used to be really upset, really mad that my emotions was just shut down, right? I used to be upset about that. And when you are emotionally attached to something, you can't do the work on it, okay? And what I mean by that is when you judge something as bad, your ego is not really going to let you break through, okay? Your ego is not going to let you break through. So what I had to do in that situation, I had to first transform my beliefs. The way that I did that was understanding who my mother was. My mother grew up rough and tough. My mother grew up in Sunnyside, Houston, Texas, which is rough. My mother has a brother who was addicted to drugs, a younger sister who could not get her act right. My mother grew up to where she needed to be tough. She could not show emotions. Not only that, she was a single mother to 3 kids. So she's in her grind. She's in her bag. She don't have time for crying, and she don't have time to cry herself. And so what she was unable to do, she had projected onto me. So once I first understood that it was not about me, it wasn't that how I was feeling was wrong. It wasn't that I was being too sensitive. It wasn't that, I was crying for no reason. It wasn't that. It was my mother and her style of parenting. See, some of y'all, you still blaming your parents for your shit instead of really understanding that it's not you. See, what you really need to get real about is that you blame yourself. You blame yourself. It's a fine line, too. I'm going to be real with y'all. It's a fine line. But you blame yourself and you don't understand that your parents had a style of parenting that probably wasn't best for who you've become now. But now you have to take accountability. So now I had to say, well, I'm going to stop with this passive aggressive shit and I'm going to just say how I feel. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to express how I feel. But the only way that I was able to do that is by taking my mother away from it. Stop saying that it was a bad thing. Stop blaming my mother for it. Stop blaming myself for it and just realize it is what it is. This is where I am now. And who I'm being and what I'm being right now is not what I want. I don't want to do the same things to my kids and tell them they can't cry. I don't want to be mean to Dream when he do something and now I'm like real slick with him. I don't want to do that. Okay? So I'm going to take accountability now. I'm going to remove the judgment. What's up, Trav? LVX 777. My brother. Love y'all. Okay? So you have to detach, family. You have to stop creating your life surrounding what you don't have, who you're not being, the trauma you've experienced. You have to remove the judgment. You have to remove the judgment. The moment you think anything is good or bad is the moment you stop doing the work. Okay? When you see things just for what it is, and you decide you're going to take accountability, and you decide you're going to move forward, you're going to discipline yourself, you're going to focus, and you don't fight that. So y'all be fighting that, pulling your hair out. Oh, I got to meditate. You be fighting it. When I'm triggered, I got to do something different. Oh, this is going to be so hard. The moment you do that is the moment your ego says, no, well, you don't got to do it. That's the moment your ego says, well, you don't got to fast. You don't have to. That's when it happens. Okay? So it is your attachments that are blocking your transformation. And you're going to have to detach in order to transform. All right? I'm going to take a question on the topic. Instagram and YouTube. Drop a question in the chat. We'll talk about it really quickly and we get off of here. Black Mirror Magic TV on YouTube says, what if they ask for help but don't like what you said? I love that question, girl, because I just said girl. Hopefully you're a girl. If not, all love. I love that question, though, Black Mirror Magic TV, because the work that I do embodies a lot of that. Here's the thing. Sometimes people ask you questions not really to get your answer, but really just to initiate the conversation so that they can vent. And so you have to be intuitive to know when you're in one of those situations. Okay? And if they don't like what you said, who cares? They shouldn't have asked the question. Okay? If they don't like what you said, who cares? They shouldn't have asked the question. That's their business, not yours. How a person responds to what you have to say is their business, not yours. How you respond to their response is your business, not theirs. It's an agreement that you make. Okay? What your emotions do in any given situation it's all you. It's all you. So an important thing, Black Mirror Magic TV, an important thing is don't be casting pearls to swine, because that drains your energy. That's funny, Trav. That is hilarious, because that happens all the time, especially in this spiritual work. People be coming on videos, commenting, and all of this other stuff, and it's like, you didn't have to listen to this. Okay? Don't be casting pearls to swine. Right? Sometimes people just want to vent. You need to be able to understand when you're in those situations. And you got to do that by tapping into your intuitiveness. And let me tell you right now, you don't got to listen if you don't want to. You don't have to listen if you don't want to. You don't have to be a dumping ground for people's complaints. That goes against your energy. When you be listening to people's complaints and it ain't solution oriented and it's not about the work and it's not about the transformation, you're going against yourself. So stop going against yourself. Stop going against yourself, listening to people complain and they ain't trying to do no work. All right? Yes, 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 yes. All right, y'all. That's my word for y'all for today. I'm going to see y'all Thursday night. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're talking about womb healing. And we're going to talk about a couple of different things. I received some emails about the womb work, and we're going to get into it. All right? So I love y'all. Make sure you like and share the video. Comment what resonated with you. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Come on, computer. There we go.